What's happening, YouTube? Ryan here, and I'm just shooting a quick video as I'm enjoying my Sunday afternoon, watching grass grow, unwinding a little bit before I get back into the training week that starts tomorrow morning. And we are still looking forward to the battleground, which I will be facing Chance Shaw in the first round, 6-rounder. And then after that, the winner of that will go on to face the winner of Alex Kurdecha and Derek Smith. But let's talk about the events of the weekend. First off, in no particular order, of course, but in the order that I watched them in, is I saw Ian Carnegie facing off against Curtis Cameron. And, hey, Court, the neighbor, heading to work. Local RCMP. Anyway, Ian Carnegie versus Curtis Cameron. And the match, to me, it ended up, I believe it was best of 5 and ended up 3-0. And I questioned some of the moves that were made by Ian, or some of the setup. I think the problem was in the setup. And we had Curtis looking extremely impressive in the hook, and all matches looked to me like both guys set up to initiate a hook. The problem is Ian, who in a lot of super heavyweight matches is the guy with the shorter arm, actually had quite a bit of a longer arm here, and the move that maybe would have been more appropriate against Curtis Cameron, he did not initiate, or it didn't seem to me like he did, and they ended up in a nice deep hook all the way over on Curtis's side of the table, where Curtis looked really strong. Now, there might be some slight adjustments that I saw in that match that might have given Ian a bit more of a competitive fighting chance that he could have done during the setup and the move he could have initiated. But that being said, Curtis Cameron looked incredibly impressive. In certain positions, he looked like elite. So, hats off to him. I'm looking forward to the Grippler coming out here and having some training days with me, because I do see some things with him, and I told him that, and he tentatively said yes. So hopefully you get to see some of that in the future. We'll shoot some videos and he can come out here and hang out with me, and maybe we can do some training together. Next up, and I'm going to save Chance and John for last, of course, but I watched the Krasimir and Laletin match. And there's not a lot of to talk about here, other than the fact that Krasimir I expected to do a little bit better, make it a little more of a competitive match. And it was not. It was not. Krasi, who has been at times world elite, did not show that form here, unfortunately. And he's a friend, and I really, really like Krasimir. But the fact of the matter is, Laletin was just too much in all positions. Now, I did see a narrative by Pradeep over on Arm Wrestling News that even inside of a hook, Krasimir wasn't competitive. I will concede that a little bit, but I will also point out the fact that, Krasimir had been stretched out a couple or a few times before Laletin dove into that hook and just kind of held him there, and that might have even been the final match. So I will say that Laletin looked incredibly impressive, and it makes me a little bit excited to see what he can do in the top 8 this year as things progress. I would love to see him face somebody like Dave Chafee. I think for that to happen, Chafee needs to get by Levon, and that could possibly happen. Chafee looks like he's found his youth again, and he looks impressive. Anyway, the top 8 looking forward to seeing how that progresses. Which brings me to the final match that I will talk about in this segment, and that is Chance Shaw versus John Brzenk. Now, here is the conundrum of this match. There are no real questions answered for me regarding Chance Shaw. The question that was answered for me from John's perspective is John is not far off of being back to an elite form. He showed an incredible amount of patience and control in match number 1. Before the elbow foul, John was very much in control. And then when they restarted the match, John got a little sloppy, maybe a little comfortable, or maybe he was just so confident that Chance initiated a move, had his shoulder behind his arm, and was able to pin John one time. That did not seem to take away from any of John's comfort or confidence going forward. And I think it was a little bit crazy on Chance's part, even though I know his style, and it fits into his style a little bit, to agree that the first 4 matches would go straight to the strap, because we never got out of the first 4 matches. The next 3 matches were complete control, domination, and side hand control, a little bit of wrist giving up in match number 2, but side pressure domination, which made this, in my opinion, a one-sided affair. I applaud Chance for taking a match with a legend. John looked really good. It leaves me with more questions than answers, though. How good is John really right now still is unanswered. If you take Chance's wins recently, you'd have to say pretty damn good. If you're thinking about just how Chance looked in the match, I'll give it to him. He still looked pretty strong. I don't think he took the match lightly or anything like that. I think he's training his ass off. I will say that the outcome of this match and the way it unfolded gives me more confidence going into the match in October at Arm Wars. More confidence. And unfortunately, that's how I feel. Sorry, Chance. I know that things have gotten heated between us a couple of times, but I don't see an end to that either. But I think you're in trouble, my friend. Now, all of this being considered, the United Kingdom apparently has not lifted the travel restriction on Canada. They lifted it on the United States, they lifted it on Europe, but for some reason they have not lifted it on Canada. But it's a long time between now and Arm Wars, so hopefully that all gets rectified. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you for the support. And of course, a massive thank you to my sponsors, Western Survivor Beef Jerky, the best beef jerky on the planet, and fueled by Supplement King, Portage La Prairie. I'll talk to you guys soon.